Hello Aries, welcome to your reading for mid-November. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Please make sure you check all your placements to get a clear picture of what's going on for you at this time. As always, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate for all of you. Please take the bits that do resonate and leave the rest behind for somebody else. We're going to be pulling a simple, very simple past, present, future spread for you today. Starting off with what do I call it? This deck is called the Archeo by Nick Pantock, and I've had it for a very long time and I don't use it as often as I should. Alright, oh nice. We have the Magician and we have Duende. There are a few complicated words in here that I don't truly know how to pronounce, but we'll get through it. Now, these cards are highly complicated and the descriptions even more so, but I will try my best to explain them to you. Now, we do have a Magician in the regular tarot as well, but I'm going to use the book and try and explain this one. Now, here, the Magician represents the meeting of science and myth. It represents the thread that links all things. It represents the fact that nothing is in isolation. It talks about how this magician can teach you how to see into structures and forms that shape the cosmos. There could be an energy around you that may be questioning your beliefs. I don't know why I just got that. There may be either one or multiple energies that question how you operate, how you process things, what your beliefs are, what your ideals are. This could be related to religion, philosophy, anything that makes you you. Okay, the Magician is that little push that helps us integrate into the consciousness of the entire planet, okay, and the other world, of course. It is a slightly complicated energy. You see how we have a key, we have almost a jester, we have an egg, we have a star that for me is, well, a pentacle, and we have a card. This card talks about that sleight of hand, okay, about illusions. The pentacle talks about stability. The jester, right in the middle, talks about having fun with life. The egg talks about new beginnings, and the key with a heart talks about opening up your heart chakra, which is why this is such a complicated card to talk about, because it represents so many aspects of one's life. You may be reevaluating how you show up in the world, and you may be being a little sneaky about it, because you may feel like the people around you don't truly understand who it is that you are trying to represent. Does that make sense? I know, slightly weird. But anyway, we have Duende. Now, Duende is a spirit of very, very deep innate curiosity and creativity. It talks about, it's a very ancient creature, Duende. I haven't gone into the philosophy of it just yet, but it talks about the arts. It talks about artistic works that are not superficial. They are raw, they are deep. So, keeping all of this in mind, I feel like some of you may be artists, or you may be delving deeper into the arts and ways to express yourself. And art doesn't have to mean the fine arts. It doesn't have to mean painting. It could mean poetry. It could mean just writing in your journal, right? Threading words together is a form of art as well. So if this is something that you haven't been indulging in, maybe it is time for you to start. As cardinal fire, for you, sitting still and even writing a journal prompt or sitting with your thoughts and sketching out something may seem a little boring, because you want to take action, you want to go, you have so much drive and energy to accomplish. But since your ruler Mars is retrograding, it's a good time to take a step back and truly try and process the person you are becoming. Forget about what you are trying to project to the world, what people think of you, right? Forget the whole sleight of hand. Do you like who you are becoming? If you are, write about it, paint about it, sing about it, right? All right. I wasn't expecting that beginning for you. Let's see what we have. I'm using the Tarot of the Abyss. Oh, wow. That flipped out. In the recent past, we have the Three of Swords. With the Five of Cups, goodness, no wonder this whole creativity is trying to show itself, because I feel like creativity and writing in general stems from a broken heart, more often than not. I may be wrong. Okay, let's see. Present moment. Oh, beautiful. That's quite a shift. We have the Ten of Cups and we have the Awakening, which is the Judgment card. Let's see for the future. We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. I'm getting temporary bliss. It just popped into my head. Now, I will be pulling the old style Lenormand to bridge the cards, but let's see, what do we have at the bottom? We have the Six of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, and the Tower with the Four of Pentacles. There are 2 Three of Swords in this deck. Okay, one of the swords is about learning from that pain, but this particular Three of Swords is pure pain. Okay, you see how her body is quite fragile. You can see cracks. And then you see birds, which talks about communication. There could have been a conversation in your midst, whether it is something you overheard or it was a conversation you had with somebody. It brought in a whole lot of pain for you. And with the Five of Cups, I feel like you were marinating in that for quite a while. You see how this is such a beautiful deck. It almost feels like this figure is on the edge of the world. And you may have felt very isolated. You may have felt very alone. And you may have been consumed by grief, by thoughts that maybe weren't your own, thoughts that your brain projected. Let me get a Lenormand to bridge this. Oop, dropped a card. And I shook the camera. Goodness. Give me a minute. We have the Key. You remember I mentioned the Key earlier as well. I'm going to grab the book just to explain this to you. This is again a new deck for me. But the Key talks about opening or closing, opportunities, wishes, and new beginnings. You may have felt that there was a favorable course of action for you when it came to matters of the heart. You may have started a new beginning with somebody. It is possible. You may have felt that your relationship or whatever this was for you was transitioning to a new level. There was a closeness that you were anticipating, but I feel like it didn't work out. I am so glad this is in the past for you, Aries. We don't need to dwell on that. Now, with the Ten of Cups and the Awakening card or the Judgment card, more often than not, is referred to as the card of an ex returning. Okay, it is the modern interpretation of this tarot card. If I look at that and just that, this is plain and simple in your present moment, someone from your past coming back in to offer you the Ten of Cups, which is a happily ever after. Okay? If I look at the deeper meaning of the Awakening, it is a realization. It is a realization, either one that you have within yourself towards another, or another person has towards you. It is a realization of where true happiness lies. I don't know if this is you or this is the person you are dealing with, but there is an aha moment that, hang on a minute. My definition of happiness was not what I thought it was. You would know what this is. All right. We have the Moon. Interesting. The Moon suddenly reminded me of Pisces and Cancer, and we have 33 and 32 together. That's interesting as well. Now, the moon talks about karma. It talks about emotions. It talks about isolation. It talks about dreams and protection. I feel, now this particular card, it does talk about spending time in tranquility and comfort, having a good rest, having mutual confidence in one another if you are together. I feel that the moon here is not really talking about tranquility. It is more so talking about a melancholy but personality. For me, I don't know why. Maybe I'm channeling. I have no idea why I'm feeling like this. I'm almost feeling a sense of disappointment. I'm feeling a sense of, all right, well, there's been an awakening, but what's changed? The moon is a card of illusions. It is a card of things not seeming as they are. And Neptune has been retrograding. It's going direct on the 3rd. But I do know that there is a square between Mars and Neptune, at least this week while I'm recording, which is going to bring up situations where you were so sure of the outcome. You were so sure that this is what that situation represented, but it's almost like it was veiled. The truth was veiled. Because see, the 10 of Cups for me, more often than not, can be too dreamy. Does that make sense? It's chasing the rainbow. It's I don't always get that energy from the 10 of Cups. But I'm suddenly getting that for you, maybe this is your energy. Maybe you're realizing that this is not the fairy tale ending that you thought it would have been. Does that make sense? Your intuition could be heightened right now with the moon card. Okay? And since I did mention that this card does talk about karma, it talks about the influence of karmic debts on the present moment. So, it is possible that you have been carrying a karmic debt that needs to be paid off, which is why you went through whatever it is that you went through. That key was probably what you needed to unlock that particular lesson. You know how we have levels in a game, right? And each time you progress to a higher level, the game gets tougher. So I feel like this was one of the toughest levels that you had to pass. And not only did that make you understand what it is that you wanted in a partnership, it made you understand who it is that you truly are. And maybe you were pretending to be someone that you weren't, to be the ideal partner. Another reader would have read this in a completely different way. But yeah, I'm not going to apologize for what I'm feeling. All right, now in the immediate future, we have the 4 of Cups with the 9 of Pentacles. Now you see why I was feeling how I was feeling. The 4 of Cups is the energy of just feeling melancholy, feeling not depressed, but just feeling apathetic that, well, this is not what I wanted. This is not the energy that I was hoping to welcome back into my life. You know? I feel that you are truly realizing what you deserve. You're realizing your worth with the 9 of Pentacles. It's beautiful how the 9 of Pentacles in this deck is represented by a very old woman. Normally, the 9 of Pentacles is represented by a young woman. But this signifies wisdom. It signifies strength. It signifies that you have worked so hard on yourself and you know exactly what to not welcome back. I'm not getting melancholy in the sense of, oh, I'm sitting in my sorrows, I'm drowning in my sorrows, look at me, look at me. I'm getting more of a sense, like a hermit-like energy, you know? Being in isolation, but using that time in isolation to contemplate, to learn more about yourself. Stork. All right. Let's see what this means. Number 17. Changes, care, loyalty to principles and traditions. This card can predict moving to a new level. The rethinking of values works in favor of creating a happily ever after. Listen to that again. Rethinking of values. This does talk about pleasant news and the end of stagnant times. It could talk about moving. It could talk about shifting your place of residence. It talks about important life changes, period, for better or for worse. And I feel like this is for the better. There is a news of a happy new beginning within yourself. 6 of Cups, which again talks about a past energy. Ace of Pentacles, a brand new beginning. But then we have the Tower with the 4 of Pentacles. For me, that means this was a false start. This was temporary bliss. And through this temporary bliss, you realize that you really don't want to waste your time. Interesting reading. All right, let's get you some charms to close this off. We have dream. Dream a little dream of me. I feel like your dreams could be highly potent right now. They could be very important. They could be carrying messages. Keep a dream journal. Maybe that's why Duende is here, asking you to journal, asking you to write down your thoughts. Thoughts that are conscious as well as subconscious. They may carry messages. We have a music note. This could talk about, again, creativity, singing, dancing, expressing yourself, expressing your yin energy. We have yin and yang within us, right? So expressing your feminine energy may be important right now, which is again why Duende may be here. We have a palm tree. Maybe a vacation is on the cards. Maybe that is the creativity. That is what is going to spark that creativity to help you heal, to help you truly realize who you are. We have a leaf, turning over a new leaf. You can't make this up. You do represent spring. You represent the arrival of spring. And if anyone can transform themselves and bring about that sense of metamorphosis without a flinch, it is you, Aries. So I would put all my energy into that. The letters we have are J, V, and P. These could be your initials. They could be the initials of someone you're dealing with. They could be the first letters of a town, a country, a city. Doesn't have to be. But, well, that's all I have. I'm sorry it was a little... I don't even know what to call it. It wasn't what I was expecting. But if this resonates for you, drop a like, drop me a comment, let me know. Alright, Aries, I hope this helped. I will see you in the next one.